Acquisition.com Publishing is proud to present Acquisition.com Volume 3, $100 Million Money Models, How to Make Money, written and performed by Alex Hormozi. Dedication. What people have said about Alex Hormozi. Alex is my husband, Layla Hormozi. I have known many people. Alex is one of them. People who know Alex. Alex has said things people have heard. Friends. Alex is better at some things than others. Alex's favorite teacher. Alex wrote a book. I have read many books. Magazine critic. Guiding principles. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. Warren Buffett. More important than the will to win is the will to prepare. Charlie Munger. A quick word. Layla. I wrote this dedication 6 years ago. I want to thank my partner, my ride or die, Layla. You found me at my absolute worst, and you have fought beside me, shoulder to shoulder, ever since. You said you would sleep with me under a bridge if it came to that, and I have not forgotten. You stood tall when everything was crumbling around me. I would go to war with you. I would die for you. If the world were a hurricane, standing with you is like being in the eye, calmly observing the storm raging around us. There is no one else I'd want by my side to fight the battles that come. Being with you makes the stars look within reach. Here's to a life filled with the impossible. And 6 years later, nothing's changed. Trevor. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Proverbs 27:17. It's a rare and wonderful thing to have the smartest man you've met call you a friend. If ignorance is the only true evil and knowledge the only true good, you, my brother, are a force of good. The world is better with you in it, and I will fight to keep it that way. My life wouldn't be the same without you. I wouldn't be the same without you. I doubt I will ever be able to repay the favor that you have given me by being in my life, but I'll live trying. Thank you for giving me a gift far more than a paragraph at the beginning of a book can ever repay. We will put our brick in the wall. Here's to a once-in-a-generation friendship. Philia. Start here. The world breaks everyone, and afterward, many are strong at the broken places. Ernest Hemingway. The first picture you see inside my book is a picture of me standing in front of my gym and a picture of where I used to sleep on the gym floor. I stared at the ceiling in the dark alone. I had no one to go to. It sounds cool when you tell the story later, but it didn't feel that way. I was terrified. I went against my father's wishes. I skipped out on business school. I spent all my savings. Everyone I cared about told me not to do it. I was the idiot that gave up on a good career. I thought I would look forward to the struggle, but it got real, fast. Kids partied all night in the parking garage above me. They'd race over the steel dividers. It sounded like gunshots echoing in my concrete bedroom. And as soon as I started to pass out, I'd get jolted awake by another. Bang, 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 bang. I finally gave up trying to sleep at night. I settled for midday naps in the utility closet. Then, in the dead of night, I worked. I had to make money. My gym sat across the street from a large storage unit business. The owner became one of my few members, only out of convenience. A few weeks after he joined, he pulled me aside after his workout. "I've been doing a little math," he said. "It looks like you're struggling." I tried to hide my embarrassment, but I failed. "All right, kid, let's grab breakfast tomorrow." I hesitated thinking about my bank account. Before I could answer, he said, "Don't worry, my treat." Relief. The next morning, we met at the local diner around 5 a.m. As the waitress brought our coffee, he asked, "How much time you got left to live?" "Huh?" "How much cash you got saved up?" "About $5,000. "How much time does that give you before you run out?" I thought about it for a moment. "About a month." "Tough. How you getting customers?" "I have a $39 6-week special on a discount site." "How many customers have you gotten?" 4. "Looks like you've got a problem that you need to solve. Fast." He let the statement sink in. Then I saw a grin spread across his face. "Let me ask you a question. How much does a free month of storage cost?" I shrugged. Nothing." He took note of my confusion and said, "All right, let's go for a ride. I'll explain it at my facility." As soon as we walked in, the girl at the front desk greeted us. "Good morning, gentlemen." "Good morning, Judy. How much does a free month of storage cost?" he asked. $127, sir," she replied cheerfully. He smiled, and he turned to me. "Want to know how?" I nodded. He took me through the office and down one of the rows of freshly painted units. "So we advertise the first month is free, and it is. But what's the first thing you need after you get a storage unit?" "I don't know," I shrugged. "Exactly. Nobody really does, but I do, and I help them out. So let me give you a hint." He pointed towards the lock on the door. "Right, a lock." "Yeah, and not one of those flimsy locks that kids use on their lockers. Those won't fit here anyways. Besides, any goon with bolt cutters can get through those in a second. But not one of these bad boys. He tapped the lock to emphasize his point. Yeesh, it looks like it. Where do you even get one of those? I asked. Funny you should ask. I've got a whole storage unit full of these. Yours today for just $47. Okay, I get it. They come in for the free month, but what good is a storage unit unless you can lock it? Exactly, he said. I get it. So where does the other $80 come from? Great memory. So what else are you going to want? I shrugged. Well, if you have stuff to store, you're going to need boxes to store it in. But never fear. We've got boxes with tons of different shapes and sizes to fit all your storage needs. We also offer tape, labels, and heavy-duty markers to make sure you know exactly what's in every box and where you put it. Super handy. Oh, duh. That makes perfect sense, I said. What else are you going to need? He asked. I don't know. Help moving it? Yes. Now, we don't actually offer in-house moving services, but we have an affiliate relationship with a local moving business and make a kickback. And if you want to move all your stuff yourself, that's fine too. We have dollies, hand trucks, straps, and other useful tools available for a fee. After all, why buy a bunch of stuff you only use once? What a waste. Oh yeah, I didn't think of that, I said. What else are you going to want? He asked. I really don't know. Well, what you store is valuable, right? At least valuable to you in some way. I mean, if it wasn't, you'd send it all to the dump. So you're going to want some insurance in case something bad happens. Now, I already give $500 of free insurance to all customers, but if you have one of the special locks only I offer, I'll bump it to $100,000 for only an extra $10 a month. He puffed with pride. Dang. And all that adds up to $127? Yep, but we're not done yet. You know what always seems to happen? On to his game now. I played along. Beats me. What happens? Everyone has way more stuff than they think, and they always rent too small of a unit. In fact, it happens so often, we always offer one size up. They get the space they need, and we make a few extra bucks. It works out for everyone. Wow, this is pretty cool. I didn't know any of this stuff. Of course not, he said. Why would you? Fair enough. But how do I use this to grow my gym? I asked. Yeah, I've been playing this game as long as you've been alive. And when you figure out how to make money in one business, I mean really figure it out, you see ways to make money in any business. And one thing's for sure, the longer you play, the more you learn. Wow, so you've had this place for 23 years? This place? No. This is just one of my newer locations. You have more than one? I asked. I have 27. Oh, crap. I felt 2 inches tall. Anyways, I got to get to work. You know your way out? He pointed to the door. Yeah, I chuckled. I think I can make it across the street. 2.5 years later. I now had 6 gyms. I had leveled up. I wanted to level up again, so I paid $25,000 for an hour of time with a famous marketer. I had never spoken to him, but I knew his stuff like the back of my hand. I had one goal for this call, for him to help me scale my gyms. After brief introductions, we dove in. So, yeah, and that's how I opened my gyms at full capacity on day one. I put $3,000 down for a lease and then run a few days worth of ads. I sell customers in the empty building. Then the cash from those signups goes towards more ads, equipment, paint, flooring, furniture, signage, and whatever else the location needs. Doing it this way, I've opened up a new location every 6 months with no debt. Wow, so cool. Explain it to me in a bit more detail, would you? His business was making millions of bucks a month. Those numbers blew my mind. And he wants to hear how I advertise? I beamed with pride. I advertise a free 6-week challenge until I get about 20 leads a day. Got it. Keep going, he said. About half the leads show up for appointments. I sell half of those who show into a $600 program, so about 25% of my leads become paying customers. I also get about another $80 in profit per customer from supplement sales. Not too shabby. Agreed, he grunted. So you make like $680 per customer before you even open your doors. Pretty dang good, but you left something out. What did I leave out? How much you paying per lead? Oh, $5. If a deafening silence ever happened in my life, this was it. He stuttered a bit. So you put $1 in and get $34 out in 48 hours? Yeah, is that good? I asked. It's amazing, he said. Do you have anything happening on the back end? I grinned ear to ear. Yeah, a few weeks later, I tell them that they can get their $600 back as credit if they choose to sign up for a year. 2/3 of signups convert into memberships. So I end up with a full gym and $20,000 a month of recurring memberships for $3,000 down. Then I rinse and repeat. Wait a second. You do all this in 30 days? Yeah, pretty cool, right? He rubbed his eyes. You shouldn't be running gyms. Oh, God. I thought he was going to compliment me. But he told me I should quit? My mind raced. Alex, he said, snapping me back into reality. You have a level 10 skill set and a level 2 opportunity. Okay, well, what should I do? I asked. You shouldn't be running gyms. You should be showing other gym owners how to do what you just showed me. I hated the idea of giving up on what took years to build, but he made a lot more money than I did. I figured if I ignored his advice, I may as well burn my money. So I took his advice. Over the next 9 months, I closed down my newest gym and sold my other 5. That gave me all the time to go all in on my new company, Gym Launch. Over the next 2 years, I flew around the country turning gyms around. Then, after 30 plus turnarounds, I switched to a licensing model. I no longer flew out in person. Instead, I helped them follow our proven model to fill their gyms and increase profits. A small market to be sure, but they were starving, some literally. But once they filled their gym in 30 days, they told their friends. Gym Launch took off like a rocket. It was wild. Over the next 5 years, I took over $43 million in owner distributions. Then I sold 66% of the company at $46.2 million in an all-cash deal. With that deal, I crossed $100 million in net worth at age 31. And to be clear, no one was more surprised than me. From there, my wife and I founded our family office, Acquisition.com, to invest in businesses we know how to grow. Our portfolio at the time of this writing is over $200 million per year in annual revenue. It spans brick and mortar chains, software, services, and e-commerce. And even though we worked in many different niches, our companies have all grown using the same principles I share in this book. So, what's in it for you? In a few pages, I took you from sleeping on the floor to crossing $100 million in net worth. So the natural question is, how? Answer, by making more money from customers than it costs to get them. And that's what this book, $100 Million Money Models, is all about. Since I've been in business, the landscape has changed more than once, and it'll keep changing. The good news is, sound principles help you print money no matter what. I've learned a lot of money models. I cover my favorites here. $100 Million Money Models shows already proven offers that you can use today, and the instructions to make them happen. Think of $100 Million Money Models as a book of winning lottery tickets. All you have to do is cash them in. Also, I want to make something clear. These are my private notes. If it's here, I've made money with it. These chapters contain my observations and experiences with different businesses, from local chains to physical products to services to education to software and so on. And they were scattered everywhere over the years, until now. This is my cookbook for making money. How this book is structured. This book teaches you one insanely profitable thing: how to build a $100 million money model. With a $100 million money model, you make so much money in the first 30 days that the cost of getting more customers will never be a problem again. With so many customers, you'll be forced to work on everything else in your business just to keep up. A problem for another book to solve, winky face. Here's the book outline. Start here and problem this book solves. You just finished it. Section 1, what's a money model? Coming up next. Section 2, attraction offers. Section 3, upsell offers. Section 4, downsell offers. Section 5, continuity offers. Section 6, make your money model. That's it. Easy peasy. Pro tip. Faster, deeper learning by reading and listening at the same time. Here's a life hack I stumbled on years ago. If you listen to an audiobook and read the physical book or ebook at the same time, you read faster and remember more. You store the content in more places in your brain. Nifty stuff. This is how I read books worth reading. I also do both because I struggle to stay focused. If I listen to the audio while reading it, it helps me avoid zoning out. It took me 2 days to record this book out loud. I did it, so if you struggle like me, you don't have to anymore. If you want to give it a try, go ahead and grab the audio version and see for yourself. I've made my books as cheap as the platforms let me, so this isn't a ploy to make some extra coin. I promise. I hope you find it as valuable as I have. I figured I'd put this hack early on. This way, you'd have a chance to do it if you found the first chapter valuable enough to earn your attention. Pro tip. Hack for finishing books. I get distracted easily, so I need little tricks to keep my attention. This one helps me a lot. Finish chapters. Don't stop in the middle. Completing a chapter gives you positive reinforcement. It keeps you going. So, if you meet a tough chapter, finish it so you can start fresh on the next one.